was 24 years old when this happened and had recently started my first job as an Uber driver. Being an Uber driver was easy for the most part, but you'd eventually get to a point where you were tired of constantly picking up people and putting a fortune's worth of gas in your car. It would have been great if Uber paid for the driver's expenses, but we were independent contractors under their platform, so we had to pay for gas. The pay was okay for the most part, but you might as well consider Uber as a side job to earn a little extra cash on the side. I'd mainly do Uber during the night as I'm a full-time college student with bills to pay, so it wasn't all fun and games. Anyway, I'd constantly be picking up people everywhere in my city. I've picked up motorists, people from parties or nightclubs, and you'd sometimes get your occasional creeps who'd stare at you for no apparent reason. However, there was this one woman who I picked up that really gave me second thoughts about working for Uber. It was a Wednesday, I believe, and I was driving around waiting for someone to request me for a ride. A few minutes went by and I got a notification from Uber letting me know that someone had requested me. I eventually pulled up to a woman who looked to be in her mid-30s. Just by looking at her, I could tell that something seemed off about her. She wore some jeans and had a black t-shirt that had holes all over it. Her hair was a mess and I could make out what looked to be faint marks on her. She went over to my car and asked in a soft tone if I was her Uber driver. I told her yes and to hop in the back. As soon as she did, she kept on giving me this stare as if she seemed upset about something. Like I said before, you'd occasionally have some creeps, so in my mind I thought she was one of them. She told me the address and we went on our way. I then began to notice that she kept looking around my car for no apparent reason, as if she were looking for something. I keep all of my valuables with me at all times, and the valuables that I do have in the car were all kept safe in the glove compartment. She kept looking around while fidgeting with her fingers, like she was anxious. Whenever I'd asked if she was okay, she'd immediately stop and raise her voice to tell me that everything was fine. Not in a rude way, just a formal way. Out of nowhere, she kept on saying things to herself, repeating them over and over again. I assumed that she had some sort of mental disorder, so I tried to be respectful and mind my own business. But that all changed when she started screaming at the top of her lungs. She began hitting me, grabbing my shirt, trying to scratch me, and doing anything she could to cause harm to me. I told her that she was done and ordered her to get out of my car before I called the police. She started to cry and sob and began to apologize, telling me not to kick her out. Even though I felt somewhat bad, I still couldn't chance it because I knew that she was going to end up doing it again. She got out of my car and I sped off and reported the incident to Uber, and I don't know what they did after that. All I could say is, that woman is mentally insane.